get started, I would like to talk a little bit about what the project is about. Almost all of you already know what it is, but probably there is someone else that doesn't know very much. So, DREAMS is what is the name again? Is it initial training network. That's what I was looking for. So it's a Marie Curie action program. Marie Curie, you don't know, is a program from the European Union that support research both in academia and companies. And if you're interested about it, just Google it. I'm not going to tell you more. So, DREAMS means the reverberation and reverberation of audio, music, and speech. And what we are trying to do is to model, control, remove, and synthesize reverberation in order to increase the sound quality of audio, music, and speech, and increase intelligibility of speech. And so, briefly, there are 16 individual research projects, 12 PhD position, and 4 experienced research, so postdocs, divided in 4 countries: Belgium, UK, Denmark, and Germany, 4 universities, and 8 industrial partners. And our research builds upon 4 main disciplines, which are room acoustics, signal processing, psychoacoustics, and speech and audio processing. Getting fast because this is boring stuff. So, a few words, what is reverberation? So, in few words, it's a superposition of sound waves which are reflected of the surfaces. And what we have is, first the receiver receives a direct sound, which is important to determine the direction of the sound, and ear reflections, which are the first ones to arrive to the receiver position and are important to determine the geometry of the room. But then reflection gets very dense and they decrease in amplitude and becomes what we call reverberation or reverb. And one important feature to consider is what is called reverberation time, which is the time that it takes to the acoustic signal to decay up to a certain level, which is 60 dB. And it's defined by the volume and by the absorption of sound energy inside the room. So a bigger room with reflective surfaces has a long reverberation time. So, as an example, concert halls and churches and tunnels and many more, they have a longer reverberation time since they are large in volume and with reflective surfaces. So reverberation time usually is more than 1.5 seconds, while dry space, least reverberant spaces are living rooms, a control room in a recording studio, or the extreme case, an anechoic room where there is no reverberation at all. And what we are we are interested in controlling reverberation because it can be good for us, because it can increase the quality of sound up to a certain level, and it gives better experience when you listen to music. But it can also be a problem because if it's not controlled and let's say distributed, we can have a problem of sound quality and speech intelligibility, so we are not able to perceive and to understand what someone is talking in our reverberant space. So this is a few examples of possible applications. So we are interested in increased speech quality for intelligibility, so you can guess why it's important for hearing aids and for personal audio devices and home entertainment. And we are trying to develop algorithms to control and to reduce reverberation in all of these applications, like also automatic speech recognition and many others. If you're interested, there is a leaflet that you can find around with some more information about it. So, we had a very cool demo which unfortunately it doesn't work. So I will explain first what the demo was about, and then I will tell what we're going to do. So the idea is that a room impulse response can capture the acoustic of a space. So as I showed in the first slide, basically what you do, you go into a room and you produce an impulse. So in this picture there is a guy popping up a balloon, so it produces a very large amount of energy, and then you record the reflections and the energy with the microphone, and what you get is the room impulse response, which describes the acoustic of the room. And then, if you put drums in an anechoic room and you record it, what you get is the audio signal without reflections, without reverberation. And what you can do is to use a convolution reverb, so to combine the acoustic of the room and the audio signal, so that you can simulate that the drums were played in a bigger room or in whichever kind of room. So, as I said, we didn't manage for lack of time to set up this demo, so I will show you in another way what our idea was about. So, starting from an anechoic chamber, so no reflections and no reverberation, and if we move to a bathroom or a living room, even better, or a living room, even better, doesn't change much because the reverberation time is very, very short. But if we go in a bathroom, it should be a little bit more reverberant with very strong early reflections, so you can sing when you're having a shower. And then if we move to remember a parking lot, which is quite big and reverberant. Wait a second. Okay. Yeah. Now it goes. I forgot to finish it. So, in a car park, it sounds a bit more reverberant, and you probably more problem to understand me, if ever. Do you understand me? Not at all. So that's what I'm trying to prove. The reverberation is for speech intelligibility. And this one is just 2 seconds and 15. So if then we move to a sports center, which is even bigger and reflective, what may sound something like this, which is even worse, I guess. So stairwell, which is less reverberant, so you can understand me now, but it's kind of boring, I think, so spit it up. So now, the reverberation time is pretty long, so you're gonna not understand anything, I guess. Hopefully. So we are in New York, based in the UK, which is a big church. And then we go to our house, which is because the Finland we have very good concept all, because we are really good in projecting concept all. And it sounds pretty good actually. I think it sounds good. This is Body, which I don't know where it is, but should be in Finland somewhere. And what we have here is a virtual reconstruction of a church that doesn't exist anymore, but someone did this reconstruction of this organization here, and it should sound something like this. We don't know if it's the real church or not. Anyway, another one, let's do this, and we finish with the most amazing one, which is the longest reverberation time in the world, which is a Scottish oil storage tank, which is, they said the reverberation time is 77 seconds, and it sounds something like this. It takes some time to load it, but when it does, it's kind of, here it is. Whoa. To me for 5 minutes. And that's it. So, actually don't know which is the first one. Adam, are you gonna play or not?
Yes.
Okay, so now we have not this one because it was not in program and I didn't change the slide. I don't. You want some reverb? All right.
I will ask you for
So, this Adam